Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. It's your girl Blessing, and I know it's been a while, and guess what, I've been working on a wedding dress project which I will be posting the vlog very soon. But in this video you'll be learning how to make this beautiful A-line dress or A-shaped dress with a bell sleeve. Okay, it's so easy, it's so simple, and it's so direct. Okay, without further ado, let's go right into the video. So guys, we'll be starting with our pattern drafting, and I'll be using this paper as our pattern, and I'm going to start by taking our horizontal measurement, and I will start by measuring my chest line. You know, we get our chest line. The chest line is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. That's how to get your chest line. Then from there I went down to take my half length, which is my waist measurement. That's your shoulder to your waist. Then my hip line. So my hip line, I will take 8.5 from my waistline. Okay, for a taller person you can use 9, but I'll be using 8.5, which I'm going to mark here. Okay, so I'm going to go forward and mark the same measurement that has been taken already, which is the chest line, the waistline, and also the hip line. So I'm going to be using my ruler to mark the straight line all along by joining those 2 points together to form a straight line, and this is what we are going to have. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is to label, which is the chest line, waistline, and also the hip line. Okay, I discovered that I didn't mark out my bust measurement or my nipple point or your bust line, which is 10.5 for me. So I'm going to be marking my chest line, which is 10.5. okay, so moving forward, that's our bust line. The next thing we want to do now is to take our shoulder measurement, and the shoulder measurement I'll be using is 7.5. That's 15. My shoulder to shoulder is 15, so I'll take that at the beginning of the paper. We serve as our shoulder line, and also on the chest line I'll take 7.5 like that, and I'll mark a straight line. Then the neck width I'm going to be using is 3.5. okay, if you like you can use 3 inches. Okay, but I think 3 inches or 3.5 is okay. Then for the neck depth, for the back I'll be marking 1.5, and for the front I'll be marking 3.5. okay, I'll be using this same pattern to draft the front and the back. Okay, just watch the way we are going to achieve this. So I'm going to be connecting the necklines like this. Okay, the smaller one is for the back and the longer one is for the front. So on the shoulder line I came down by 1 inch to mark our armhole curve or the shoulder curve. Okay, then from there I'm going to divide whatever I have into 2. I'll mark the point. Then from there I'm going to come in by 0.5. okay, just to avoid bulginess on the armhole area. That is the essence for that. So on the chest line I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4. That's your bust circumference divided by 4. Whatever you have, you mark a point, then you connect your armhole curve like so. This is how to achieve armhole. Okay, so I'll continue by taking our body measurement. Okay, my body measurement, that's my circumference measurement divided by 4. Then I will add 1 inch for ease, then 1 inch for sewing allowance, which I'm going to do all the way from the chest line down to the hem of this pattern. Okay, so for the waistline, my waist circumference divided by 4, I'll mark whatever I have. Then I added 1 inch for ease, then 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then on the hip line, I'll also take my hip divided by 4, give it 1 inch allowance and 1 inch ease. Okay, so whatever I have here, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the hem. Okay, then I'll add 3 inches to it. Whatever you have completely with the allowance, everything that you have on your hip line, mark the same thing on the hem. Then you go out by 3 inches more to give us that a shape effect. Okay, so that is how I achieved this. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is to cut it out. Mind you, the length of this pattern paper is already the desired length that I want for my gown. Okay, so don't forget to mark your desired length, and the length of this pattern paper is 39. Okay, about 40. Okay, so you can just make sure you have your own desired length before you start your drafting. So I'm just going to cut this neckline alone, this smaller neckline will serve as the back piece. Then I'm going to be folding my fabric into two so that I can cut it out, and I have placed it, okay, following the pattern. Okay, ensure you are following the pattern of the fabric. Okay, place it accordingly, and this is what I have. I added 1 inch at the hem that I'm going to be using to fold. Then this is what I have. So I'm going to take this away while I cut out the neckline, which is going to make it serve as a front piece. I hope you are not confused. So on the center front, I want to come down by about 2 to 3 inches. Okay, I came down by 3 inches, then I went in by 0.25. okay, I went in by 0.25. Then I'm going to connect with a curve like this. You can see what I have. That is going to help me have that opening we have at the front of the dress. Okay, so now I can go ahead to place my pattern on the fabric. Okay, then I will cut out, and I have already done that, and this is what we have. I'm just trying as much as possible not to make this video too lengthy, because it was actually very lengthy before I edited it. Okay, so I have just cut it out, and the next thing I want to do now is to cut out the facing. So I will only be cutting the facing for the front. Then for the back, I'll be using bias tape to turn the neckline for the back. So I'm going to be cutting the facing for the front just the way we have the neckline. I'm sure you know how to achieve this already, but if you don't know how to achieve the facing, let me know in the comment section, then I can do a proper tutorial on that. But a lot of my videos have how to turn facing for a dress. Okay, so this is the facing. That is exactly what we have for the neckline. Then I'm going to be pinning down while I go ahead and sew it just the way we have the neckline. Okay, so this is what we have. We are going to sew just the way we have the neckline. All right, then for the back piece, I'm going to go ahead to use our bias tape to turn the neckline. So guys, the next thing we want to do now is to draft our pattern for the sleeve. So I came down by 4 inches to serve as my bicep depth. Okay, I came down by 4 inches. Then where I have the 4 inches, the line where I have the line for the 4 inches, I measured out my armhole circumference divided by 2. Then I connect to the corner this way. This is also as though you want to draft a basic sleeve. Okay, so from here I'm going to be dividing what I have here into 2, just for me to get the midpoint, and that will assist me in drafting my curve for the sleeve. So I'm going to come down by almost half an inch like this. Then on this other part, I will go up by almost half an inch. That will help serve as a guide on how to draft the curve for the sleeve. Then I determine the length that I want for my sleeve, which is about 24 inches. I determined the length. Okay, that's with folding allowance. Okay, then I went to the front and I determined the length as well, and I marked. Okay, so after marking, I'm going to determine the width that I want for the hem of the sleeve. Don't forget it's a bell sleeve, so the width has to be a bit wide. So for me, I use 15 inches for the width of for the hem of the sleeve, 15 inches. So I just decided to measure what I have on the armhole of the main dress. Okay, and I want to ensure that it matches up with what I have on my pattern, which is equal. So from there now, I'm going to connect from that 15, I'm going to connect straight to where we have our armhole curve, where the armhole curve stops. Okay, and this is as simple as it is to draft a bell sleeve. Okay, if you are finding it difficult to draft a bell sleeve, this is how to actually achieve a bell sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. All right, so after cutting, this is what we have. My fabric was almost not going to be enough because this fabric was not even up to 3 yards. It was about 2 yards plus, and we needed to follow the pattern. So I'm just going to have my way in finding a means of joining the fabric in essence to have the length that I want. You can see the way I cut it into 2, and I'm going to join these upper bodies to it, and by the time I join, you won't even know that there was a joining at all. Okay, I had to cut the sleeve into 2 so that I can achieve the sleeve individually and join to have just one sleeve, and it came out well. So after turning the neckline for the front, this is what we have. Okay, we've turned the facing. There was no light at the point of shooting this video, so I couldn't iron and press down the neckline with hemming gum just to make it stay in place, but I did that while I was done sewing. Okay, so this is the neckline for the front, which is ready. Then for the back, we've also turned it with our bias tape, as you can see. So the next thing we want to do now is to turn the shoulder, and to turn the shoulder, you're going to be placing the fabric right side facing each other. Then since we have a facing, we're going to use the facing to cover up the shoulder allowance that we have joined. This will help us to secure the shoulder allowance inwardly. Okay, just to have an inseam finishing. So after joining the shoulder, this is what we have. The next thing we want to do now is to place our sleeve. Okay, is to place our sleeve. This is our sleeve. I've joined it. You can see how it's looking, and from the outside you can see that it doesn't even look like it was joined. You can see. Okay, the pattern is looking like one. So the next thing I want to do now is to determine the center part of the sleeve. Then I'll place that part on the shoulder joining, right? So after that, I'm going to be sewing the sleeve just the way I'm going to pin it down now. Guys, if you have watched to this extent and you are yet to subscribe to my channel, if you are new to the channel, please do well to subscribe. Okay, do well to subscribe, do well to comment, do well to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, all right, support your girl. So this is what we have after pinning down. So I'm just going to sew it straight just the way we have pinned down. So this is what we have after pinning, after sewing what we pinned for the shoulder, for the sleeve. Okay, after sewing what we have for the sleeve, I'm just going to go ahead to shape, and by so doing, I'm going to be sewing with just the 1 inch allowance we added. So from the sleeve now, I'm going to sew with 1 inch all the way to the armhole, all the way to the side, down to the hem. This will be done to the both sides. Then after that, I'm going to turn the hem, and that is all. Our A-line dress is ready. If you decide to put a pocket, no problem, it's up to you, but you decided to leave it the way it is. You can see how beautiful this is looking, how classy. If you are going out now, you carry your bag, wear your palm slippers, you are good to go, Okay, I hope you have learned something. Please don't forget to give this video a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to support your girl. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Okay, you can see the way I'm dancing for you, so please comment. All right, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you. I'm so grateful for supporting me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.